Hello, it's Big Chad, and this is the Trading Encyclopedia Daily Education series on my YouTube at Chad's Trading. Find me on Twitter at Big Chads and Bitcoin Live, where I am a founding analyst. For today's lesson, we're going to talk about the idea of a horizontal zone. How do we draw this box, and what does it mean? Well, first of all, let's think about the concept of a trend line, because it's the same concept. When you have a trend line, and it's not as important to draw the line in an exact way. So let's take, for example, some price structure in Bitcoin. And let's say we take this trend line and we want to draw it here this way, or do we draw it this way? It doesn't really matter what way you draw it, candle or body, because there's a filter of price around the line. It's showing you a trend. And the same is true for any horizontal structure. So for example, let's take a look at Ethereum, and we have the 2150 range, which is incredibly important, okay? Now, is it exactly 2150? Not really. It's a zone. It's a price zone around 2150. Why is that important? Well, that is going to capture most of the price action going back here to 2022. So we take our low back here was 2163. Our peak here is 2140. And then our highs here, 2111. The low. So it's basically right around the zone. When you say 2150 zone, it captures here, it captures here, it captures here, here, all this, right? This is a really good example of horizontal zone. And you look locally in the nearby, prices bumping into it and rejecting. It's into a zone of price. So when you draw the box, what is a box? Is it an exact price? Right? Here's what would be, say, an exact price right at this exact number. No, there really is a filter around it. It's the same concept like when you use one of these centered oscillators that crosses over the zero line for a buy or sell signal. The zero line. That's a rough zero. And so there's always a filter. You want to have a filter around the zero line to avoid getting faked out. So anytime you draw a box, you draw a zone, you're generally describing a zone of price action, area of price action to capture the majority of it, the essence of the price move. So when you see a box, it's not about the exact price. It is about a price zone with a filter up and down, within that box to give you just a general idea, a very specific idea, a general and specific, because, that's where the price should reject or it should hold. So for example, if it broke out from here, it would come back. This would be a throwback target. And you would look locally, you would kind of drop to a lower time frame, depending on your confirmation method. But the idea is that principle of polarity here, lost support. Here's support, resistance, came back, held this support. Now it lost it again, and it's become resistance, and it's a price zone. So when you draw your box, just understand it's not a rigid price. There is a filter around the price. The same concept with a diagonal trend line. All right? This is for the Trading Encyclopedia Daily Education series on my YouTube at Chad's Trading. Find me on Twitter at Big Chads and Bitcoin Live, where I'm a founding analyst. Folks, thank you so much, and I'll talk to you soon. Big Chad's out.